Sadashiva Samarambham Śaṅkarāchārya Madhyamam Asmadāchārya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Tapobhihi Kshina Papanam Shantanam Vitaraginam Mumukshunam Apekshoyam Atmabodho Vidhiyate. We did till the 20th, I think. Yes. We finished with the 20th shloka. Atma Chaitanyam Ashritya Dehendriya Manodhyaha Swakhiya Artheshu Vartante Suryalokam Yatha Janaha. Suryalokam Yatha Janaha Swakiyeshu Artheshu Vartante. Suryaloke Yatha. When there is the sun's light shining nearby, that is like the Chaitanyam, and Atma Chaitanyam Ashritya, Suryalokam Ashritya. Just as how people take the refuge or take the help of the sun's light and they do their own work, in the same manner, Atma Chaitanyam api Ashritya, Dehendriya Manodhyaha Swakiyeshu Artheshu, Vishayeshu Vartante. They are present in their objects, that is, they are able to grasp or reveal the objects and interact with the objects of the world because of the presence of the Atma Chaitanyam, and they take the light from the Atma Chaitanyam. So they are able to move in this world, function. Now, so if we say that Deha, Indriya, etc. are separate from the Atma Swarupa, then we have the problem of duality. There are two things. One is Atma, the other is Deha complex. So we have two things here. Now, if we say no, both are the same, then the quality of non-eternal nature, Jananam, Maranam, all of these things come to Atman also. Now, how do we solve this problem? So that is the problem he keeps up in front here. Nanu Atmanaha Dehendriya Bhinnatve Sati. If Atma is different from Deha, Indriya, etc., then Sadvitiyatvam, now it has a second object with it. We can no longer say the Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma iti vaktum na shakyate, because now there is a Dvitiya Vastu. It is not Advitiyam, but it is Sadvitiyam. Because if we declare that Deha, Indriya, etc. are different from Atma, then we have the problem of two things here. Abhinnatvetu, no, they are the same. Iti yadi vadamaha tarhi kim bhavati janana maranadi dharmavatvam. It also has the dharma, the qualities of janana, birth and death, etc. So birth, death, all the shadbhava vikaraha, jayate, asti, vardhate, parikshiyate, viparinamate, parikshiyate, and nashyati. All of these six bhava vikaras will have to be there in Atma also. So janana, maranadi, dharma. Janana, marana, dharmavan would be Atma. Dharmavatvam is the quality of having all of these dharmas would then come in Atma. Darshana gamanadi vyaparavatvam. Then we also, since it has all of these qualities, now the other qualities of darshanam, seeing, gamanam, which are all only associated with the indriyas, would jnanendriya and karmendriya. The actions of the jnanendriya and karmendriya would also have to be put on Atma here now, if it is abhinnam. So katham advitiyam avikaritvam and akriyatvam cha siddhyati iti akankszayam aha. So if such is the case, when we consider it as two separate things, then we have two objects instead of one, which is our premise. But if we consider all of them together, then the non-eternal nature of the indriyas are going to come onto Atma also. So how do we label Atma as Advitiya, Avikari, or Akriya, that which doesn't have a second, that which is not changing, nor is it with any action? How do these qualities come to Atma? Dehendriya gunan karmani amale satchidatmani adhyasyanti avivekena gagane nilatadivat. Very common example of how we see nilatvam, blue color in the akasha. Gagane nilatadivat. Neela, Krishna, Rakta. There are so many different colors that we see in the Akasha. It's not always blue. At night, it becomes dark, Krishnatvam. When sometimes it seems very white during midday. Then how does all of these colors come onto Gaganam? Gaganam is not that, right? It doesn't have those colors. The same way, Deha Indriya Gunan Karmani Amale Sachidatmani Adyasyanti Katham Avivekena Atma Anatma Viveka Jnana Abhavena. It is because we do not know the true nature of the Atma and we do not know how to separate between what is Anatma and what is Atma. Atma is Chaitanyam and real, Brahma Satyam. Jagatatu Mithya. So that distinction is not there in our mind. So avivekena, because of the non-discrimination, Gagane Nilatadivat, Gagane Nirmale Paripurne Nisange. So he says the Gaganam Akasham is very pure. It is full. It is spreading everywhere. Akasha is Sarvabhyapi, and it is also not touching, or it doesn't get connected with any objects in the world. Yet we say it has the colors of Nilatvam, Krishnatvam, Raktatvam, etc. So Nilata, Adi Padam here is etc. So what are those? You take in all of the colors that we perceive in the sky. So these Gunan, Iva, in this, just as how we see all of these colors in Akasha, in the same manner, because of Avivekitvam, because we do not have the discriminating power. In the same way, Amale Sachidatmani Dehendriya Gunana Adyasyanti. Amale Nirmale Maya Tatkarya Sambandha Shunye. In Atma, which is very pure is still just a positive. You always try to remove neti iti. You have to remove whatever is not there and say it is pure. How is it pure? Because it does not have any of the sambandha. It doesn't have any connection with Maya or the effects of Maya. Maya tatkarya sambandha shunye sachidatmani satu chit atma satswarupa chitswarupa atmani paripurne atmani dehendriya gunan. Deha Gunan, Indriya Gunan, split it into two. So Dehaha, Stula Shariram, Indriyani, Jnana Karmendriyatmakani, Sukshma Sharira Tattvani, Prana Manobuddhyadinam Upalakshanam Etat, Gunaha, Satvadayaha, Karanatmakaha. So he has mentioned all three Shariras here. Stula Shariram, which is represented by Deha, body. Body represents the Sthula Shariram, the gross body. Indriyas represent the Sukshma Sharira, because Indriyas are Karmendriya, Jnanendriya, with which we also include the Pranan, Manas and Buddhi. So it is the package of 17 items, which is the Sukshma Sharira. And then when he says Guna, the Guna is the representative of the Karana Shariram, which is just pure Maya, which has the three Gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So these gunas are attributed to the Atma, that is Deha, Indriya and Guna. So Stula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira and Karana Shariran Adhyasyanti, superimpose. Who superimposes upon the Atma? Karmani. So Dehendriyadibihi Kriyamanani Karmani eva Adhyasyanti. These qualities are being superimposed upon Atma by the actions that are seen, by the actions that are done by the body or the Indriyas or due to the Karana Sharira, the Sattva Rajastamo Atmaka Gunam. So Dehendriyadibihi Kriyamanani, that becomes the Karta here. So the actions, Karmani, the actions themselves create the superimposition upon Atma. Because of what? Aviveki. Because there is no distinction between these two. Ye avivekinaha, deha abhimaninaha. So adhyaso nama aropaha. Aropa is atasmin tadbuddhihi iti aropaha. This is the definition for it. Right? So atasmin tadbuddhihi. Wherever this is not present. See, Maya, the Rajatam is not present in Shukti. So atasmin arajate shuktau, in shukti which does not have rajatam, arajate tad buddhihi, rajata buddhihi. In an object which does not have silver, you have the concept of silver, then it is called superimposition or aropaha or adhyasaha, an illusory appearance. So adhyasyanti, those actions seem to superimpose the actions of dehendriyas onto Atma. Ye avivekinaha tam kurvanti avivekinaha. Okay. Okay, fine. Avivekena adhyasyanti. I think my Anvaya was wrong there. Let me go back and say. So, avivekena, because or by a person who is an aviveki, or because of the non-discrimination power. That is because of the quality of not being able to discriminate. Because of that, karmani adhyasyanti. Correct. So the karmas try to superimpose upon the Atma the qualities of Deha, Indriya and Karana Sharira. Okay, I'm correct. Yes. I thought I had mistaken because he took it as avivekinaha iti prathama vibhakti, so that should be the karta iti. So not necessary. You can take that avivekena as the karanam here, hetu. Ye avivekinaha deha abhimaninaha kadachidapi sat samsargam akurvanaha te eva maru marichikavat pratiyamana deha indriyadibihi eva kriyamaneshu karmasu ahankarta bhokta ityadi abhimanavantaha bhavanti. Now he just writes it in a tatparyam form, giving you a brief of what the shloka means. He says, Ye avivekinaha, those people who do not have the power to discriminate between Atma and Anatma, aviveki. An aviveki is also a person who has an abhimana towards deham. So avivekinaha ityukte dehabhimaninaha, those who have the abhimanam, ahankara, with respect to the deha, the body. Kadachidapi sat samsargam akurvanaha, they do not have a samsarga, they do not have a connection with the sadvastu, which is Atmaswarupa. So sat samsargam akurvanaha, not connecting themselves with the Atmaswarupa. Te eva, only those people, maru marichikavat, like the mirage in a desert, pratiyamana dehendriyadibihi, because of the fact that these deha, indriya, etc. are illusory appearances, using those deha and indriyas, kriyamaneshu karmasu. So the actions that are being done, kriyamaneshu karmasu, in the actions that are being done by deha, indriya, etc., which are actually illusory appearances, pratiyamana, like maru marichika. Maru is desert, marichika is a mirage. So maru marichikavat, like a mirage in a desert, these dehendriyas are just pratiyamanam, these are only vyavaharika satyam. They do not have a satta other than the Atmaswarupa. And these seem to be making the actions. And those actions are superimposed upon the Atma. And so we have the perception of ahankarta bhokta iti. So I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. Ityadi abhimanavantaha bhavanti. So those who have a connection with the body and no connection with the Atma think that they are the ones who are doers, or they are the ones who enjoy. Natu vivekinaha, those who can discriminate and say between the two of them, they do not have such a misconception. So prakrite kriyamanani, we saw the shloka earlier also. Prakrite kriyamanani gunaih karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. Gita shlokam. Tattvavit mahabhaho gunakarma vibhagayoho gunaha guneshu vartante iti matva nasajjate. Gunas, the three qualities, sattva, rajas, tamas, etc., are present only in the gunas, that is in the maya karyam. They are not present in the Atma. Right? This is clear, right? We saw this before also. So prakritehe gunaihi, prakriti, the qualities of prakriti are the ones that are doing the actions. Kriyamanani karmani sarvashaha, in all manner. Ahankara vimudhatma, the person who is confused, vimudha atma. Atma here is manas. Once whose manas or chittavritti is completely vimudha, deluded by ahankara, thinks, manyate, he thinks aham karta. Iti. Tattvavit tu, whereas a person who understands the true nature, gunakarma vibhagayoho, gunaha guneshu vartante iti matva na sajjate. He does not attach himself to the vishayas because he understands that all of these are part of Maya. Yeah. Etena, so the conclusion for this shloka is yad adhyastham tan mithya. That which is superimposed is false. Iti nyayena deha dehe asatvat. So deha indriya gunan adhyasyanti ityuktam. So these are being superimposed upon the Atma. So that the very mere fact that we use the word superimposition shows that it is false. So dehendriya becomes the false attributes to Atma. So as a result of any action that the dehendriyas do is also a false attribute on Atma. Right? So deha dehe asatvat. So deha etc. Deha, indriya, jnanendriya, karmendriya, pranan, everything, all three shariras are asatvat. They are not real. They are false. Advitiyatvam, because they are false, we are only using it as vyavaharartham. Correct? My teacher would say this is like a promissory note. In India, we have this currency notes. When you say 100, it's not actually 100 rupees, but it will say, I promise to pay the bearer of this note 100 rupees, the value of 100 rupees. So it's like a promissory note. That currency note is not actually a note. So that is how we are doing vyavahara in this world. That is not real. So deha dehe asatvat advitiyatvam. Now these become false. So what is the only true thing? Atma is the only one tattvam which is present. So Atma advitiyaha. There is no change also to it because all the changes are only associated with dehendriya. So Atma api nirvikari. So nirvikaritvam Atmani. Akriyatvam Atmanaha siddham. Akriyatvam. All actions are also only with respect to deha, indriya, etc. The actions are not on Atma. So the quality of having no action, inaction, no change, and no second object in the world still remains for Atma. Using that example of Gagana. Dehendriya gunan karmani amale sachidatmani adhyasyanti avivekena gagane nilatadivat. Okay.